right, guys, we got a video from a divorced woman, and let's see what she's talking about.
All right, guys, so here's part 2 of 5 pieces of advice that I would give you as a divorced woman. Let's go. Okay, please don't settle. Society has a great way of making women in their 30s and in their 40s feel like crap if we're not married. So I know a lot of women who they've totally married the wrong person because they were kind of pressured. They felt pressured that they had to be married.
First of all, how do you, or why would you marry somebody if you felt pressure? Most women will not, marry under pressure. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. I don't buy that one iota, man. And first of all, it's funny to me how this woman is trying to give advice and she's divorced, but let's continue.
That is the wrong thing to do. I speak from experience when I tell you being married to the wrong person is way worse than being single. Don't do it. So my parents have been married for over 47 years. Both sets of my grandparents were married for over 60 years. And the first thing that they told me, and the reason that their marriage lasted for so long, is because they had their own interests. They had their own things going on. My mom has a whole separate life from my dad. She has her own separate friends, her own separate activities. Make sure that you have your own life. It's really important.
Well, my question is, did you not have your own stuff to do? Did you not have your own activities? Why are you divorced? You say you come from a long line of parents and grandparents who've been married and they're still married, I guess. Why haven't you been the same way? What happened in your divorce? It's funny how people are on here trying to give advice and they're divorced, but they're giving advice to women about staying married. But she couldn't stay married. Now, it's one thing if she was actually still married and she was a married woman, giving advice to other women on how to stay married and what to look for, but doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. Now, I'm not saying you can't be divorced and learn lessons, because I'm sure there's lots of people who have gotten divorced and learned their lessons. But still, I wouldn't be trying to give other women advice if I'm divorced, though. Okay. And I'm not remarried. All right, let's just continue.
Relationship right now, and the person is telling you, oh, I should be your only friend. Please run. It is so important to keep your friends in your life, your girlfriends, your guy friends, whatever you have.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna have to object on the guy friends. Okay, I'm definitely gonna object to that. Now, girlfriends, hey, all good, everything is love. But when it comes to guy friends, no, that's a no. And that right there is a nail in the coffin, and she doesn't even see that. All right. Any man who's married to a woman, and if that woman has male friends, that's a no. Think of it like this. Think of your husband having a number of female friends. Would you really want that? Do you think that would be healthy for your relationship? You get into an argument. I'm going to confide in one of my friends. Okay. And it's probably not going to be the male friend. Okay. It's going to be the female friend, and vice versa. Your wife gets mad at you and she decides, okay, I'm going to call my male friend Terry, go over there for some drinks. And yeah, you tell me how that turns out. Okay. Let's continue.
And let me tell you why. When I went to divorce court, there was this woman in divorce court whose husband had thrown her in the street. And the judge said to her, do you have any friends that can help you? Well, no, he didn't want me to have any friends.
First of all, it's funny how when women tell their stories, they always paint a picture of woe is me. They're the victims here, and I got to slow my roll on that for the simple fact that I'd like to hear both sides of the story. Or she just said, oh, she went to divorce court. Some guy threw his wife out into the street. Now, the first thing that pops into my mind is this. Why would he throw her into the street? Why would he just throw her out into the street? You mean to tell me she was just at the house, reading a book, minding her business? He comes in and just literally throws her out into the street? It's not that black and white, guys. It's just not. Something happened. Okay. But of course, we're never going to find out that context, because she's telling the story. She's painting her picture for us. So, spare me with all these stories that a lot of these women tell us that they've been through this, they've been through that. And it's always them being the victim. It's always, I can't seem to find the right guy. Every time I date a new guy, I get done this way, I get done that way. It's never anything that they have done. Okay. And so that's where I draw the line. I need more proof. I need to hear the other side of the spectrum, because guys, if we continue to let them paint these pictures for themselves, this is all we're going to see. Okay, let's move on.
You need to have balance. Please, please, please do not forget about your friends when you're in a relationship with someone, and this person has a history of doing things that make you not trust them, and you find yourself wanting to look at their phone, wanting to read their emails. When they leave, you're like stressed out about who they're with, if they're telling you the truth. Please do not marry this person. Sis, you will pay for it later. It does not get better when you get married. Do not do it.
Okay, that could also be a trust issue on the other side. Okay, I've dated plenty of women, guys, in my time, and in that time frame, they had issues, trust issues. There was a lot of stuff going on from previous relationships, and they drugged that with them to this relationship. And she's not mentioning that at all. Okay, so in other words, if you don't trust a guy for whatever reason, okay, and he doesn't even have to have done anything. Okay, there's been plenty of times in my time when I was dating this person, that person, and I hadn't done anything, guys. I haven't given them any reason to doubt me whatsoever. But because of what they've been through in the past, or because they have certain issues within themselves, they take it upon themselves to blame the guy or put that issue on me. Okay, when in reality, it was a previous relationship, or it was just they weren't right in the head. Okay, so you're leaving those out. You're leaving those scenarios out. And I think those are very viable reasons as well, in defense of the men that maybe you're in that relationship with. Okay, let's continue.
Don't. If you're in an abusive relationship and the only reason you're staying is for your kids because you think your kids should have two parents, or it's better that you're married, it is not. It is better to raise your kid in a loving and safe and peaceful environment than having them witness abuse. Please don't do that, please.
Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. Yeah, she said a lot of things that, didn't have complete context. All right, she was basically telling half stories. Now, I believe that kids should have both parents. Okay, and I believe that, of course, I'm not sitting here telling anyone, if you're in an abusive relationship physically or mentally or whatever, that you should stay in that relationship. Okay. But I am also saying that if you are encountering these things in your marriage, you should try every and anything before you decide to finally push that divorce button. Okay. If there is absolutely nothing else to do to save this marriage, that is the only way you hit that break glass here. Okay. Other than that, man, you try whatever you got to try to make it work. All right. You chose to marry this person. You should try to make it work. All right. Things happen. People change. And I think that just because those things happen, it doesn't give you a get out of marriage free card, or at least it shouldn't, but we live in an age today where usually the women, because they're the ones who initiate these divorces, they find something they don't like. And they decide, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to fight for the marriage. I'm just going to file for divorce. Because let's keep it real, guys. In the end, they have the advantage anyway. Okay. Whenever they choose to get tired of somebody and they want to move forward with divorce, it's kind of a win-win for them in essence, because maybe they want to go get their cheeks clapped by somebody else, and they can get paid by you in the process. Okay. They can get, if they have kids, child support. All right. To help sustain that. And also, they don't have to be married to you anymore. Okay. So there's a number of different reasons, but most women who file for divorce, it's because they stopped respecting the husband, or sometimes never even loved the husband from the beginning. All right. A lot of these stay-at-home wives, they married these men because they thought they would have an easy life when not having to work. All right. And just sit back and raise kids. And they realized that that wasn't in the end enough for them. Okay, maybe they weren't as attracted to this guy. They weren't really into this guy. This wasn't their number one pick. Okay, time goes by. They got bored. And now every little thing that you do as a husband ticks them off. They're complaining about every little thing. that happens. And next thing you know, guys, they're filing for divorce. Okay. Because they rather have, Terry, who the mechanic, or, Tom over there who works at the mall selling shoes, who was 6 feet tall and who was handsome. They rather have that guy clap their cheeks. Okay. But in reality, once they do that, they're gone. All right. And then the woman's sitting there wondering what happened. What was me? You know what I mean? I thought we had a good thing here. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please hit that like and subscribe button. I drop content every week. This is a new channel, so we're trying to grow it. And I will see you guys in the next video.